When I think of the best records in my collection, I don't always think of the ones which are the most valuable. A lot of the times I like to look towards the ones which I have a lot more sentimental feelings towards.
Get up in the morning, already on it, and I'm so tired.
So hello and yes, welcome back to another video, guys. Now then, today I'm coming at you with a bit of a different video. It's going to be a bit of an interesting video. It's not going to be, as I say, it's not going to be a vinyl update. It's not going to be an album review. It's not going to be a music night. It's not going to be a complete collections video. It's going to be one of them random ones that I like to throw in the middle. And I'm really excited to bring you guys this one, actually. I was just literally sitting downstairs bored. Really haven't got much going on at the minute. And I thought, well, I want to film a video. So this idea just kind of comes to me. Talk about the most special albums that I own. And yeah, there's a couple in here which I think are really special because of how valuable they are and whatnot. But, you know, I mean, a lot of them in here, in this pile, actually, I would say, actually, I would call special because of, you know, as I said in the intro, sentimental feelings I have towards them. There's certain albums which I'm going to be showing in this pile, which generally I just feel so connected to because I have such fond memories of them. So I know a lot of you guys are going to be thinking, well, why aren't you showing this, why aren't you showing that? You know, valuable records and whatnot. If I was going to do that, I would do a video called my most valuable records. This is just special ones which I just have great feelings towards. A couple of them in this pile do come from the reason that they're really valuable and whatnot. But most of them in this pile come from the idea that generally I have really fond memories of them. So anyway, we're going to kick off with an album which I have incredible memories of. Incredible. And yeah, this is an album which I remember I just barely got into music. I was the first band I listened to was Madness. And then, of course, my mum and dad put Madness stuff onto my phone for me to listen to while I was at school or out and about, you know, when I was younger. And, yeah, I remember them putting the Beatles on my phone. And one thing led to another, and I turned into a huge Beatles nut and decided to buy all their CDs. But before I bought their CDs, I remember my dad has my nan's old gramophone vinyl player in our front room, which is a really nice old turntable set, really old, from the 40s, and it has the turntable in the middle when you open up the lid, and then it's got two slots down the side with records in. And I remember thinking, there's some Beatle ones in there. So anyway, I went down there, I pulled all the Beatles ones out, and I brought them upstairs to where I was borrowing my nan and granddad's turntable at the time because I didn't have enough money to purchase my own. And their turntable was really nice, great system, had a great needle on it. It was actually a really nice turntable, wasn't damaging my records, because I got an all-in-one system for Christmas that year, and that one, you know what them all-in-one systems are like. But this was a really nice one, the sound quality was great, so when I pulled these Beatles records upstairs to play, I got great sound quality, which was fantastic for a first listen to a Beatles record. Anyway, there's a few items that come up there, greatest hits, an 80s, Sgt. Pepper, Beatles for Sale. But the one which really hit a good chord with me, because at the time I was really into the early Beatles, I was into that rock and roll sound. I liked stuff I could just pick my bass up to, because I was learning to play bass at the time, and I just walk around my room and play my bass guitar to it. You know, I like the fast beat tapping songs. And as you can imagine, the one out of the selection I had that got to me was A Hard Day's Night. This is my dad's exact pressing. This is a mono. I don't know where... It's probably not a first pressing. It could be. I mean, it's got the folded over corners on the back. It's a very early pressing, I know that. But anyway, I remember bringing this upstairs, and of course, I knew everything on the A-side because I'd seen the film. So I played the A-side first because I knew them, and I've, you know, singing along to it all, you know, as a little kid, loving it. It was fantastic. Sound quality was incredible, hearing it in mono as well, because I was used to the stereo mixes. It was fantastic. But then when I hit the B-side, I was thinking, well, I don't know how much I'm going to like this. I don't know it, you know, at that time, being young and, you know, just want to hear what you know and what you like. Yeah, yeah, you know, I put the B-side on and it was incredible. I had Any Time at All, I'll Cry Instead, Things We Said Today, When I Get Home, You Can't Do That, and I'll Be Back. I mean, my God, what a selection of songs. I absolutely loved the hell out of this. This was a lot of fun, really enjoyed it, and still to this day I can put this album on any time. I don't care how cheesy it sounds, because, you know, it's old rock and roll stuff. I don't care, I love it. This is a fantastic album. Incredible. This, I know a lot of people would say it sounds dated. Yeah, it does sound dated, but is it dated? I don't think so. Kids today are picking these albums up like me when I was young and listening to them and loving them. This is a fantastic record, and I hold this copy very close to my heart because it's my dad's copy. I remember bringing it upstairs and I have such fond memories of playing this. That was an incredible listen. So anyway, that's the first one. I'm not kidding you guys. I have a pile like this big, and we're 5 minutes in and I've just talked about Hard Day's Night, so I'm going to have to go quicker on the rest. Okay. So the next one up, another Beatles one, the second Beatles one. There's no more Beatles ones after this, because I did want to kind of spread it out and get a bit of variety in this pile. The other one up is an original first pressing. I know this one's a first pressing because I looked it up. Stereo, mint copy, UK pressing of Rubber Soul. So you see there, you've got the folded over corners, got stereo. I've showed the label in previous videos. But yeah, the story of how I got this one is how it's very unique, because I remember going around to my nan's neighbours and he pulled out this big drawer and he had tons of records. Tons. And he said, yeah, just pick out the ones you want, basically. So anyway, first one I found, I believe, was a first pressing stereo of With the Beatles. So, almost as good as this one, I'd say. But I just prefer this album, that's why I picked this one. And that was great. I didn't really know that it was worth a lot of the time, so I put that one in a pile. Then I found a French pressing on yellow vinyl, still in the shrink, of Band on the Run by Paul McCartney and Wings. That would do, in the pile. And then I came across this one. And at the time I looked at it, I'm like, stereo. I just assumed it was an 80s pressing, like with the Beatles. Anyway, when I got home and I saw the label, I was like, this might be worth a little bit. So I was over the moon to find this. This was fantastic. You know, just the fact that I got it for nothing from a very good friend of mine, my nan's. You know, this was incredible. Really, really nice story there of finding that one, I guess, is the way to go about that one. Anyway, the next two records up are both by my favourite artist, and that is Mr. Eric Clapton. And this one here I have a really fond story of because of... they were gifts from a very good friend of mine. And I want to give a shout out to Vinyl Collector James. Now, and you guys know from my vinyl updates, me and Vinyl Collector James like to trade packages quite a lot. I've got a really cool package all ready to be sent off to James. You know, we're always trading records. We have this great system. And yeah, we're just such good friends now. We're like this. We are generally two peas in a pod when it comes to music and films. You know, we share very similar opinion on films as well. So we have a lot to talk about and whatnot. So we get along like a house on fire, as everyone can imagine. And we both kind of got into Eric Clapton at the same time. So it was fun. We both collected his stuff together. Hence why we done a video on his channel showing our Eric Clapton's collections. Vinyl collections, and then we done on my channel the Eric Clapton band collection, so Cream, Blind Faith, Derek and the Dominoes, Blues Breakers, Yardbirds, All Stars, all them bands that Eric was in the 70s, 60s even, 60s. But there were a couple of records which you couldn't get in the US, but you could get in the UK, and then the same thing other way around. You could get them in the US, but they were a bit hard to get in the UK. So I kind of got together the ones which James was struggling on in the US, and he got together the ones which I was struggling on in the UK. And the two which are very hard to get in the UK have actually become two of my favourite Clapton albums. And I remember getting this really cool box from you, James. You know, James was there on camera. I think we opened it on Skype together because I wasn't too sure what was going to be in there at the time. And I opened it and it was incredible because there was these two albums in there I knew were really hard to get here. I really wanted. And... I put them on the turntable and oh my god, they've become two of my favourite albums ever. I love them. So both of them are very recent Clapton albums. This one is from 2005 called Back Home. And I remember putting this on for the first time. And I knew this album off the top of my head because being a big Beatles fan, I knew that Eric Clapton covered George Harrison's Love Comes to Everyone on this album. And actually, to Beatles fans, I think Eric Clapton's version is better than George Harrison's version. So that's why I really wanted this album. But that's not even my favourite song on here. The opening track, which is an Eric Clapton written song, So Tired, is amazing. The title track, Back Home, is brilliant. One of the, probably my favourite acoustic song ever. You know, someone just sitting there with an acoustic. I love it. It's such a good song. You've got I'm Going Left, which is Stevie Wonder cover. Revolution, very popular blues track. Such a fun album. Really, really loved it. But anyway, that wasn't it for the box, of course, from James. The next Eric item up, which I pulled out, I equally loved. And it is Eric Clapton and J.J. Cale, Road to Escondido. So if you haven't heard this album, you need to, because it's, in my opinion, my personal favourite two blues musicians, Eric Clapton and J.J. Cale. Love them both to bits. They're both fantastic musicians. They come together and make this album, and it's like butter. The vocals work so well, the tunes work so well, everything about it is a brilliant. This is a winner of an album. This is the best duo album ever, in my opinion. You can take so many duos, two singers singing together. You know, I'm not. This is my favourite. Eric and JJ work together incredibly well. The opening track, Danger, all the way through to Ride the River. This is just a phenomenal album. Really is. I love it. So anyway, really fond memories of them too, you know, opening them on Skype with you, James. That was fantastic. But anyway, the next one up, you can find in pretty much any pound bin. But I picked this album because, you know, I used to play this one all the time. You know, it was consistently on my turntable. This exact copy, consistently on my turntable. Every night when I used to have a lot more free time, you know, before my exams kicked in and school hit me hard, I used to play like 3 records in, you know, the afternoon or daytime. And every afternoon this used to be one of the 3 for like a whole year of my life. That's how much I loved this. And this exact copy, I wouldn't dare put it on my turntable now, because I probably wrecked the hell out of this record because playing it so much on my old all-in-one system. But anyway, it's only a pound record, so I don't have to be too upset about that. But it is the Electric Light Orchestra's greatest hits. Every track on here is gold. I used to love this thing to death. This was the best pound I think I've ever spent on a record. So, love it. Fantastic. Okay, gonna have down another quick drink now. Okay, so the next one up, next 2 up actually, are my signed records. I have a few signed records in my collection. I've got a couple others which I'm not pulling out. Shout out to Derek Higgins. I was really lucky to get Derek Higgins' autograph on Flyover. There's a really another special record in my collection which I was really grateful to get. But this one here was really interesting because it was a brand new release on blue vinyl. Very, very popular artist here in the vinyl community. So I was really kind of shocked to see this up for pre-order on his website, so I had to grab it. And that's Steve Hackett from Genesis. And this one is called Warfight, I think. Warflight. And yeah, it's signed. And it is also on blue vinyl. Just trying to see if it says on here, so I don't have to take it out the sleeve. It doesn't say on here, but I don't want the video to be too long, so I'm not going to take it out the sleeve. But it is on blue vinyl, and yeah, it's got his autograph on them. Quite a good album, actually. I love the cover as well, so that one's just really cool. Really cool item. That's what that one is. Next one I found out at a car boot, and the guy had all the documents to say it was authorised and it was real, so I just grabbed this. It was like £15, I think. And I think we all know this guy. This is Elton John. Don't Shoot Me, I'm Only the Piano Player. Now, I'm not the biggest Elton John fan, I can't lie. But I like his early stuff quite a bit, from, you know, his self-titled all the way through to Blue Moves. So when I see his autograph, I have to take it. And there it is. To Jackie, I think that is. To Jackie with Love, Elton John. So really nice. And as you can see, the copy itself is in great condition. The book is very nicely stapled in there. The record, all very nice. So this is a really unique item for me, because I was looking through this guy's record bins and I saw the cover of this, you know, because the autograph's on the inside. I remember just brushing by it, and then the seller actually said, you know, there's an Elton John autograph in there. And when he showed me the documents and stuff, I was like, yeah, I'll have it. So anyway, that's that one. The next one up is a rare record. This one's special because I paid £10 for it. Paid £10 for this one, which Led Zeppelin fans are going to know is a great deal. Now, I'm a very big Led Zeppelin fan. I love all their albums. I know some people like to be harsh on Presence or In Through the Outdoor, even Coda, but I love all of them. I think they're all brilliant. I don't think Led Zeppelin have any bad, slow albums. I really like them all. They're all very solid albums. And but here is one of their early ones, Led Zeppelin 2. A lot of people consider it their best. I'd say it's my second favourite Led Zeppelin album. I still prefer number 4 over it. But this is on, I think they call it the Red Plum label. So yeah, very, very hard to come by one of these babies. These are really nice. As you can see, very, very good condition as well. So I was very much so over the moon to find this for such a great price. It was too good not to pass up. Now, I would be lying if I said it was perfect. You know, there's a bit of ring wear on here, you know. But I would still, if I was to put this on eBay, I would not let it sell under about £70, £80. So yeah, very, very incredibly grateful to own this one. Okay, the next one up, again, just like the yellow one, you can find it in any pound bin in the UK, but I love it because I didn't used to play this one quite as much to death as the yellow one. I used to play it a lot. This was the first band I ever got into, before the Beatles. This is going back before I started this channel, before I started talking about the Beatles, before I got into music, really. This was the only thing I ever used to play. And that's Madness. And this is a compilation called Complete Madness. It has Embarrassment on, a fantastic song, Shut Up, My Girl, Baggy Trousers, It Must Be Love. I mean, everyone knows that one, come on. The Prince, Bed and Breakfast Man, Night Boat to Caro. I'm wrecking these titles up. House of Fun, One Step Beyond, Cardiac Arrest, Grey Day, Take It or Leave It, In the City. Them two weren't really big hits. Madness and The Return of the Lost Palmer 7. So this was, you know, I know that Madness didn't really hit it too much outside the UK, but they're worth checking out. Next one up is another rare record, but I have very fond memories of just actually winning this on eBay. It was put up on eBay. I remember because there was 2 on eBay at the time. There was one which had started as an auction at 99p, and there was one that went up for an auction at £70. Anyway, the 99p one, because it started so cheap, got a lot of watchers, a lot of followers, and it went up to about £110. And I watched it. I was watching it. I obviously didn't bid on that because that's way out of my price range. My price range on a record is about £80. I don't like to pay any more than that. On a really rare one, obviously. And I'm thinking, well, this 70 one is going to go up a lot. But I think because it didn't get much, it didn't start so low, I think a lot of people kind of overlooked that one and went straight to the 99p one. Because they ended within an hour apart from each other. I see the £70 one still ain't got a bid. We're getting down to the last minute of the auction, still hasn't got a bid. So I put a bid on and I won it for £70 with free postage. And that was Paul McCartney's Flaming Pyre from the year I was born, actually, 1997. So, and this probably is my favourite Paul McCartney album. I know a lot of people would say Ram, and Ram is a great album. I'm uploading a review of that either tomorrow or the day after. But yeah, I mean, I generally love this record, and I was just so over the moon to actually finally get it. You know, it's a very special record for me. It's my favourite record by my second favourite musician. Yeah, just love it to bits. Fantastic. So pleased to own it. And the other one, again, an album which I'm very excited about. I mean, here I could have easily have put in either Jeff Lynne's ELO, Alone in the Universe, or Eric Clapton's I Still Do, because them 2 albums I was looking forward to so much. Probably the album I was looking forward to the most, though, was this one here. Paul McCartney's New. Now then, when this album came out, I remember being so excited. You know, this was a couple of years ago. I was still only about 15 at the time. I was still pretty young when this came out. But, you know, it was little, you know how it is when you're younger, you know, it's like you just get all excited and stuff. You know, I still get all excited, but not quite as much as I did when this came out. And, you know, I was just remember going into school and none of my mates cared because they didn't like the Beatles. And yeah, you know, it was just I was like, oh, Paul McCartney's album's out. They're like, who? But yeah, you know, this was a great album. First album I ever bought really on release date. I mean, I bought Ringo's 2012 on release date, I think, but yeah, we know how that album goes. But this one here, you know, actually buying it and having a lot of good music to listen to on it was just incredible. Incredible. I'll never forget the day that came out. Okay, I'm going to have a quick drink. Haven't got many records left to go now. Just 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 records. Okay. Next one up is a weird one. I always refer to this as my weird record. And it's a great album by 2 great musicians, and that's Simon and Garfunkel. Bridge Over Troubled Waters. Now then, I've recently been getting into Paul Simon's solo career a bit, which I know my friend Ross Goodall will be pleased to hear. Yeah, and I don't mind Art Garfunkel's hits solo too much. You know, people love to pick on him a bit, but he's got some good solo hits. But this, you know, fantastic album here, this is the album that beat Paul McCartney's debut album to #1. But anyway, I bought this. I thought it was an American pressing when I bought it at a car boot, because it was real thick card. And I was like, yeah, okay, an American pressing. Because when I bought this, I used to buy different pressings of records. I'm not like that too much anymore. I'm like, 1 copy is good enough. But anyway, boy am I pleased I picked this up, because I got it back to my caravan, because I was away on a caravan park in northeast England, in Great Yarmouth, which my nan's cousin owns, called Vauxhall Caravan Parks. Those of you who've been that way, you'll probably know it. And yeah, when I looked at it and I'm like, yeah, this all looks pretty genuine. And I opened up the gatefold, and this is what I got. It's a Japan pressing, which is really, really weird. And it's an old one. It's not like a new one where you get the obi strip or anything. This is a original old Japan pressing of Bridge Over Troubled Water. And you get all the lyrics there in Japanese. So, and even the label's quite weird if I remember correctly. So, yeah, it's a very strange find there. It's like, I know you see a lot of Japan records about today with the obi strip and everything. So I see a lot of people showing them off like, oh, look at me, I got a new Japan record, because they sound brilliant. But this is an original from 1970, so don't know if it's worth anything. Don't really care, to be honest. I'm just pretty happy to own it. I've got a nice story of when I got it, which I really like telling. There we go. And yeah, it's just a very unique item, a very weird one for my collection. So anyway, there is that. Next one up was a huge surprise. You know, I'm a big Tom Petty fan. Love Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers and the Travelling Wilburys. But anyway, I found this one online, and I was like, what is this? Mudcrutch. I was like, well, Tom Petty's associated with it. It says produced by Tom Petty. And then I saw a trailer for it online. It was like, oh, okay, so he does a bit of singing. So I'll take it. I have done a full review of this if you guys want to check it out. Feel welcome to, of course. But anyway, you know, I put this on my turntable for the first time, and it blew me away. Just the sheer shock of it was like, I can't believe how good this is. This is one of Tom Petty's best albums, and no one knows about it. I didn't. So yeah, that one there was just one of them shocking ones where you play it and you're like, oh my god, that was great. Same for this one, really. I was just about to check out with some records from a record dealer. This wasn't too long ago. This was about 3 months ago-ish, I'd say. So I was just about to check out. I had this big stack of records. I think there was a couple Queen, a couple solo Beatles, maybe an Eric in there, Steve Winwood, something like that. And he was serving a customer. So, while he was serving his customer, there was a soul bin right next to him. So I thought, okay, I'll have a flick through, just see what I can find. Found this for £3. I looked at it for a minute, and then he finished talking to the guy, and I was like, okay, I've got to decide now whether I'm taking this. And I thought in the end, screw it, it's only £3, it's a double vinyl. So I did take it, and I couldn't be happier that I did, because this is now one of my favourite albums ever. It's in my top 10 albums. just, you know, I wouldn't have bought this normally. It was just a gamble, and I fell in love with it. And that is Stevie Wonder, Songs in the Key of Life. Nearly forgot. And I remember because I was talking to my aunt's boyfriend about it after I bought it, and he loves this album. So it was really nice. You know, it's got Sir Duke, Isn't She Lovely, and I Wish On, which were 3 massive hits, big popular songs. It's really nice. It has a booklet in there as well. It doesn't have the 7-inch bonus single, but you can buy that on its own on eBay, super cheap. Just throw it in if you want. So I'll probably do that eventually, because this is a really special album for me. And I love it. Great. Last album up is a soundtrack. You know, I've got a nice soundtrack collection now in my vinyl collection, so I have to put at least one soundtrack in. And the only one for me is this one. The original Star Wars motion picture soundtrack. And, you know, when I was a kid, there's quite a nice story to this one, actually. When I was a kid, all I used to watch was either Doctor Who, back when David Tennant was the Doctor, or Star Wars. Since then, I've obviously changed. I mean, you can see my Blu-ray collection there, pretty big. I'm pretty diverse with my films now. But when I was a kid, I used to love sci-fi. It was either Star Wars or Doctor Who. Or a little bit of Pirates of the Caribbean thrown in there. I used to like that as well. But, yeah, I don't know. There's something about Star Wars, though. I mean, I like Doctor Who a lot, but there's something about Star Wars which has always stuck with me. Absolutely love Star Wars to death. It's still my favourite film. And while the story, the characters, the effects are all top-notch, they're just amazing. Another big part as to why Star Wars is so great is the music. Not only the main theme tune sticks with people, but also all the backing songs. John Williams, the, of course, conductor of the music, has this fantastic way of making scenes seem memorable through the music. The music makes you remember half the scenes, which is very rare that you get that in a film. And he does that with all of his films. Jaws, Indiana Jones, Jurassic Park, E.T. Every film score he has done, a lot of the scenes are more memorable through the music. You can hear the song and you can put a scene to the song. Now, when I got this on vinyl, I loved it. This one has the poster. This is just incredible. I love it. I'm so happy to own this. And all of the other films on vinyl. So I've got the nice vinyl box set, again, which I've done a video of if you guys are interested. I just love this. This really is. I'm going to give it a hug. Look, I'm giving a record a hug. You guys take the piss. But I love this. This is great. So anyway, they are some of my most special records. There's another couple which I haven't included, like my Derek Higgins signed one. Got Lindsey Buckingham, Out the Cradle. I've got a couple nice original Bob Dylan. There's a load of Eric I could have included if I wanted. Some nice Peter Gabriel here. Can you spot the Peter Gabriel there with the spine? I mean, it's not that noticeable, is it? Nice Led Zeppelin collection here as well. But anyway, we'll save that for another day. We'll say maybe I'll come back with a special video part 2. Sounds a bit wrong, really, but anyway. So yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed seeing this. One day I will do a video like my Blu-ray collection where I'm like this film, blah blah blah. But I'll do that for like my vinyl collection, because I do want to do a complete vinyl collection one day. So one day we will go through my entire record collection. That'll be an epic video. I need to make sure I've got like a month off from work to do that, really, because that'll take a lot of preparation and whatnot. But anyway, I can see the video's getting really long now, and I'm sure you guys are getting really bored of listening to me talk. And for those of you who've stuck around, that is. But anyway, thank you guys for watching so much. My Paul McCartney and Ram review should be up very soon, and yeah, thank you guys for watching so much. Please hit the subscribe button, like the video, and leave a message. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys next time.
But I came back again.